Welcome everyone to a sneak peek into the upcoming webinar for the Danni app Untapped Treasure Series. I do these every month now, and we are talking about all kinds of different glass and antiques and collectibles that sell for big bucks and big profits. And so this time we are talking about, well, actually, let me go back. We've covered EAPG, Early American Pressed Glass or Pattern Glass, and American Brilliant Glass in our first webinar. Then last time we did Murano and Venetian art glass. This time we're covering contemporary and other art glass, which will kind of cover the whole realm of pretty glass, shall we say. Then next after this will be depression glass. There is still good depression glass out there that sells for good money, so watch for that one coming up. Crystal and other clear glass, fine art, paintings, and prints. And then we're going to do another one on fine art, that's sculptures and other types of art that you may not have thought about. Of course, antiques and collectibles that bring big money, because there's even contemporary collectibles that can bring you some big money. So that is what is coming up. Each topic that I do, we cover where to find it, where the best places, where you're most likely to find the type of thing that we're talking about, how to identify it so you don't walk by it on the shelf, how to price it. I get a lot of questions about how to price these things because a lot of times you'll find similar items on eBay that will be all over the board. Some sellers are asking like these astronomical prices that are just so far out of reach, it's crazy. And then some aren't asking, but 20, 30 bucks. So it's really hard sometimes to figure out what to price your items at. So I'm going to help clear that up for you. How to photograph it. Some of this glass and some of this stuff can be really tricky, so I will show you how to take the best possible pictures for the items that you're selling and make it look like the hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollar item that it is and get that price. How to list it. This is going to include things like, the terminology and the keywords that you want to use in your listing, how to really make your item stand out to somebody who's willing to spend a lot of money and be that seller that gets the top prices. And of course, how to package and ship it, which is another scary area for so many sellers with these really expensive and these really breakable items. So I'm definitely going to cover and hopefully get you comfortable with that aspect of it too. So there's all kinds of different types of art glass. These are actually some examples that I pulled right this morning from eBay's sold listings, because they give us that information now. And you can see there's quite a variety of art glass out there that is selling for hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars. We're going to cover paperweights in this webinar as well. Those are considered art glass, so there are paperweights that sell for big money, as you can see. There's even little things like hand-blown beads. Some of those are really lucrative, so I'm going to teach you about those too, and just kind of what to look for. Here's some more examples. While there are some that sell for thousands, you're more likely to find the ones that are going to sell for hundreds. Within the Appsters, which is my membership site, we have Appsters that are finding these pieces on a weekly basis and selling for really good money. So I definitely want to teach you what to look for and what not to leave behind on the shelves, because it's crazy how much of this stuff, thrift stores and estate sales and all those places, they're pricing this stuff as pretty glass. They really don't research and know the value. Even some of the auction houses, they're in such a hurry to get this stuff listed and sold for auction. They don't put the time into researching. They only go a little bit by what their consigners tell them many times. So you can get some spectacular deals. So like I said, we're going to learn the terminology, the right words to go to those people who are willing to shell out the big bucks. There is a language that the customer who is buying for their own collection, or sometimes even museums and art galleries, they're shopping on eBay too, believe it or not. So I'm going to teach you that terminology so that you can get those higher paying customers. Some of the designers to watch for, and things like what to do when you can't read that signature. How do you list it anyways? How do you maybe find the designer or the artist on an item based on different aspects of that piece of glass? I'm going to teach you that. A little history, although there's a big variety of art glass that we're going to talk about this time. So there's not one specific history, but we'll talk a little bit about why this glass came to be and why collectors are willing to spend so much money on it. Is it worth buying and selling? So, like I said before, there are many, many pieces that you're going to see on the shelves at the thrift shops and at estate sales and such. So, not all of it is worth buying. That's like anything else that's out there. There are pieces that are better than others. And I am going to teach you what to look for, which items to leave on the shelf, which items to definitely snap up. I'm telling you, you guys are passing this by all the time. Almost guaranteed it. If you're not out looking for this type of glass, these things you'll see a big price, such as $20 at a thrift shop. Normally, that's going to be something like, whoa, they've got that priced crazy. Or it can be a $2,000 piece of glass, which actually happened to me. So I'm going to teach you how not to pass that stuff up anymore. And how to stand out from other sellers. As I said, there's a lot of sellers who pick up these pretty pieces of glass and try to list and sell them, but they don't sell them in such a way as to really give their buyer confidence. That buyer that's willing to spend a lot of money, those are the buyers we want, and those are the buyers I'm going to teach you to go out and get. And more, of course, there's always more. I'm always just going to spill whatever comes out of my brain with you guys. So are you passing by $100 bills? Because I don't want you to do that anymore. And sometimes it's $1,000 bills. Like I showed you, some of this glass goes for incredibly high prices, and I don't want you to pass that by anymore. I also want you to be savvy when you're at the auction house and somebody's bidding you up. Many times I've gone up to $100 on a piece, and that's about where most people will stop. They are so not comfortable going much more than that. But I mean, how many of you would pay, say, $150 for something you knew you could sell for $1,000? That's almost a no-brainer, right? Well, you'd be surprised how many people are so not willing to do that. So I'm going to show you how to have the edge there. No more passing up those $100 bills. Promise? Good. So here's some examples of a few pieces that I personally have listed. And I can tell you most of these came from the auction. This piece right here came in a lot of several pieces. I think it came in about 4 or 5 pieces of blue cobalt glass. And I paid $20 for the whole lot. I've already sold some of the pieces. This piece here was about $2. This is a signed piece. This is an old Bohemian piece. This also came from the auction in a lot of several pieces. So don't have much more than, say, $5 into that one. And this piece right here, I paid $25 for. And that is a $500 piece. This Geosol Art Glass Studio is known for making those big glass sinks. So they don't really make pieces like bowls and vases. So this is quite a unique piece, and it's just waiting for the right buyer to come along, which happens. Here's some pieces I recently sold. I can tell you this one right here, I took a best offer of $65. And this one right here, I did take an offer of $55 on this one. And the reason being is this piece has quite a significant chip right here at the end. You could see it if you pulled up the actual listing. So it's got some pretty substantial damage. So I didn't know that when I bought it. But fortunately, I didn't pay a whole lot. Again, it came in a lot with 2 or 3 pieces, so I probably have like $10 or $15 into it. Had it not had that damage, it'd have been a $200 to $300 piece. But with the damage, I was just happy to sell it to somebody who's going to appreciate it. $55, and it went international, so they paid the shipping. So that one worked out really good for me. The Sidon Stricker glass, again, I've only got about $5 tied up in these 2 pieces, and you can see it's sold for $89.95. And this is a big glass charger by Leslie Roy. This piece right here, I paid about $20 for and sold it for an offer of $75. So pretty decent prices, really good profit margins, and that's what it's all about. Now, I don't have some of my more my higher dollar items to show you because they were months ago. But generally, my pieces sell so quickly that I don't have a lot of it at any given time in my store. I can't keep it stocked. People buy it; they snap it up, so it moves through really quickly. So this is going to happen next Monday, July 15th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can go to, actually, you can just go to the front page of the DanniApp.com. It's right there on the front page for now. If you're seeing this and it's not there any longer, you can go to the DanniApp.com/special-webinars and it will be there. Now, I do have a special price just for the next 3 days. Next 72 hours only. It's $59. $59. I know that sounds maybe like a lot of money. So I got something special for you. How about all 9 of my webinars? So we've got 2 already archived that are there for the viewing. And then we have the one coming up and 5 more after that, if I did the math right. I might not, might be 6 more after that. You know me and math. So there's going to be 9 altogether in the Untapped Treasure series, and we're doing 1 each month. So what I'm doing is including these in with the Appsters Behind the Scenes membership, which is just $29.95 a month. And really, these webinars you're getting included for free because what you really get with the Appsters membership is a whole bunch of other stuff, including weekly coaching webinars. This is where you ask the questions and I show you on my screen how I do it, how I look it up. We will look up items that you have together. We'll do store reviews, whatever you need. These are your webinars, and so we cover just about anything in those. My specialty workshops, so far we've done the Danni map, which is a business plan for your eBay business, and we've done stores tune-ups, which was a 9-week step-by-step go through and fix up your eBay store with all the bells and whistles. So many sellers are leaving alone, making you stand out. Our next one we are going to be doing is social media, covering all those sites like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it, and how to get out there and be effective when you're posting your Facebook fan pages and pinning and all that stuff. That's our next workshop coming up. In just a couple weeks we're going to be starting that one. So you also get discussion forums right over on the Danni App website, or we have a secret Facebook group. This is a members only. This is not, you can't view these posts anywhere else on Facebook. This is just for members. This is where I spend most of my time answering questions. So there's some really great people in there, and everybody's willing to help one another, and we get a lot of problems solved. Special members only discounts, special offers, anything that I'm offering, whether it's a book or a special service, there are discounted prices for Appsters, always, always. When I come to your town and do one of my Day with Danni shopping trips, all that good stuff, Appsters get to come along for free. You also get assistance finding the better items to sell. I'll review auction previews with you, or estate sale previews with pictures, that kind of stuff, and kind of just, you know, be your little guide on that stuff so you can comfortably step out of your comfort zone. and start finding these better things that maybe you're not so familiar with. You don't ever have to feel like you're alone. So if you are interested in that, it's over at the DanniApp.com. You just find that big green Join the Appsters Now button, hit that, or send me an email if you have any questions that you'd like to answer. You'd like me to answer before jumping in. It's Danni at thedanniapp.com. I'm always willing to answer whatever I can. I don't have all the answers, but I sure as heck try for you. And with that, I want you to go be profitable and make it fun. And I hope to see you next week in the Art Glass webinar. We'll see you there. Thank you so much for being here.